Hey there fellas, my name is FacelessAce and today I'll be making a Elden Ring guide video on my personal process on how I get early game levels while starting a new game or being in New Game Plus, and how to get to the easiest soul farm and how to get to the late game soul farm. So let's get into the video. And right now we are in the loading screen where you could just sit here and decide which class or character you want to play. It really doesn't matter. I usually go as Samurai. It's just what I like to start with, but this is your build. This is uniquely you, so you choose what you want to start as. So have fun with it. Remember, this is your build, your playthrough, so go through, look at all your customization options, look at all the sliders. You can even find slider videos on YouTube on how you can build unique characters or characters from other games. It's pretty fun. The Elden Ring community is so nice and so awesome. They can be toxic. I'm just saying, in a whole, it's fun. So this is my character. He's a samurai. His name is Jack. There's no correlation. He's this rugged fellow. I think it's funny to make him all bummy looking. But yeah, let's just start. Now we're done. And we load in, and you are in the beginning of the game. So right here, you're going to go collect this item, and you can click on the message. It's going to tell you, it's going to be your maiden giving you a message telling you to go and become Elden Lord. You're going to open this door, and you're going to meet a great fate. This is the beginning of amazing things for you. And that was embarrassing. I love Elden Ring. I have over 300 hours across multiple different characters, and I got whooped by that grafted scion. He is going to be one of the first bosses you're going to play against in the game, and you will lose. You might not if you're really good at the game, but don't get too hurt about it. Sweet, sweet revenge is in your future. So you're going to come get this grace, and then we're going to run forward. To our right is a dungeon. You don't have to worry about that now. You can go do that later. The best thing about this game is that not all of what you have to do is mandatory. You can just go run back and do it later. Run away, do it later. But here comes the best part. Everybody's favorite part of the game. The most nostalgic thing ever. Stepping into the lands of between for the first time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get this. Well, I guess I'm going to run down and get get the golden effigy. I'm voicing over this post, so don't mind me. And we're going to go get this grace. The first step. How nostalgic. So you can go ahead and talk to that NPC. I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. And, oh, I should say I'm not going to talk through all of this, only during the specific parts that I feel like I should talk, so don't worry, guys. I'm not going to be talking to your ear off forever. And I'm just messing around with a few of my emotes. And there you go. You see that nice fellow down there? Yeah, you can fight him if you want. You're going to see I'm going to go try and fight him. And it's going to go well. Yeah, as you see, I got washed. But now, we're just going to run around him. We're going to go to our next spot of grace. And then we're going to go to where we get our goodest of boys, Torrent. He's going to make traversing these lands so much easier. After getting the grist, you can see behind you that we have a item I'm going to pick up. These are smithing stones, which you use to level up your weapons throughout the game. And then you see me walk by him now, but I'm going to walk back. This is a merchant. His name is Kale. He's the only one that I think has specific unique dialogue. I'm not too sure. But you can buy 2 really good items off him, which is the crafting kit, and I'm going to show you right now the torch. If you need it, if you're going to go through dungeons, it's the best thing to get right now. And from there, we are going to run towards where we get Torrent and meet our beautiful love of our life, Melina. So what we're going to do is rest at this site of grace. We're not just going to run past it this time. And now we're going to go into a cutscene where we're going to meet everybody's love, everybody's goodest of girls, Melina. I skipped the cutscenes. This should be known. I'm going to skip all these cutscenes because I've seen them a million times. I really don't care to see them anymore. But for you, I suggest you watch all the cutscenes. You exhaust every NPC's dialogues because, you know, why not? This is your first time, right? Enjoy it. So the item she gave us is Torrent. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on my hotbar. I usually always have it in the 3rd slot. So with this, you're just going to hit down on the D-pad. You're going to hit your square button or your X button, I believe, on Xbox. I don't know what it would be on PC. And with that, you get to ride the goodest of boys, Torrent. And now we're going to collect our 2nd item for the best early game souls and levels that you can get. So we're going to get the flail and we're going to run. Easy as that. Made out like a bandit. Not hard, not difficult. And it should be known, I didn't grab the map for the area we're in now. It is in the middle of that camp, but later on in the video I will go back and grab it because it makes it easier for the guide. So we're going to run by, you're going to hear an NPC talk to you. You can go explore that if you want. I'm not going to do that right now, and I will meet you at the next spot of grace.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Caliph, servant to the true order and celebrating repudiation.
So now we are making our way right up to a church where we're going to grab 2 items, a sacred tear and our wondrous physic. So we're going to grab this grace, and to our left is going to be our sacred tear, which levels up how much Estus, or how much you get from your Estus. And the wondrous physic is like an extra Estus. I don't know what to equate it to. I don't remember there being anything like it in Dark Souls 3 or even in Dark Souls Remastered, but it's like an extra buff. You can equip what specific buffs or effects you want it to have when you use it. If you're following along, you see that I went to the back of the church and entered a teleporter, which transported me to this big door that I'm going to open up. In the back is going to be a friendly NPC. You can talk to him. There is a quest line for him where you can defeat certain bosses and give him items, and he will give you rewards. And out in front is an aura farming motherfucker. He is probably my favorite boss to fight every time I come through this area, especially in New Game Plus, but you're going to ignore him for right now. We're going to run down to the next spot of grace, where we're going to get to the first soul farm of the game. So now we made it to the grace, but up ahead you're going to see there's a dragon on the bridge. He is also a boss, but you do not have to fight him. You can just simply run under him like I do. And he is not fast enough or has enough reach to do anything to you. I'm sure it can happen, but if you're quick enough, nothing really will happen. So what we're going to do, we're just going to run past. We're going to take a left, and we're going to take this jump. And here, I would say, make sure you grab these items. They are soul items. And basically what they do is they hold a certain amount of souls, and souls are what you use to level up. Or they're called runes in this game. I'm just going to call them souls. And you're going to hit the grace for the first soul farm in the game. And the soul farm is very easy. I want to say it's only really good up to level 50, because then how much you need per level is hard. So all you're going to do is run down to the ledge, and there's going to be something that summons behind you. This ball is going to summon. You're going to take a sharp right, and it's going to fall off the edge, and you're going to run back, and you're going to get nearly 2,000 souls. And then you're going to hit the grace, and you're going to rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. Do that over and over again until you get bored. Like I said, you only really need it to level 50 for what I'm doing, or how I'm doing this guide. But then after that, you're going to run back up the spring. You're just going to jump. You can only do that with Torrent, and we're going to hit another spring to where we get our largest amount of easy early game souls. So just follow me if you've been following me this whole time. I hope that's self-explanatory. So we're just going to run around. There is a boss towards the front of that tree, but you don't need to fight him. I don't recommend it, because these bosses are a lot harder than what we're going to be going against to do this guide. There's only 3 bosses that are mandatory to beat. So we're going to grab this grace. And here I would advise using those soul items. All you have to do is go to your inventory and use them. You'll just go to your inventory, click on the item. You'll see me do so right now. You go to your inventory, use, and it'll give you souls. And what I advise you to do with these souls is to level them up to the bare minimum you need in dexterity to use the flail. I believe it's only 16 dexterity to use the flail. If you're not using a dex build or using a bleed build, you don't really need dexterity all too much. Dexterity and strength are your main attack attributes. Main stats that buff your attack attribute. For me, since I'm using a katana build, I will go harder into it because it buffs how much damage I do with my katana. And right here, you'll see Melina talk to me. She's going to invite you to the round table hold. I would advise you do it. I didn't do it here because I just wanted to get this done and over with. So you see me level up, and then I'm going to run... Oh, I'm also going to level up my flask. You make sure you do that. You will get golden seeds, which will give you more Estus, and then you will, like I said, the sacred tears will also give you Estus, more Estus per flask. So I'm gonna run back down, and we are gonna beat the crap out of this single mother. Poor her. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your skill, which is R2, I believe, on the chain. On the chain. And what it will do is after a certain amount of hits, it will proc bleed, and bleed takes a chunk out of any boss's health that is weak to it. Most bosses are, but there are certain bosses that have an immunity to it. So after a few minutes, you're just going to do this until the health bar drops. And it will do so in like a couple seconds. And once this boss dies, you will get, I believe, 50,000 runes just from this boss itself. But there is also another gimmick way to where you can beat this boss. There are dragons patrolling around, which you'll hear shriek and make noises. So don't worry about it. There's nothing that's going to attack you. It may sound like it, but there are other dragons you can fight to reduce the health of good old Grail here. So once you do that, you can go back to the Grace. You can level up. You can level up your steps however you want to. If you want to have the easiest time of getting through to the next soul farm, I would just level them up the way I leveled them up. But like I said, this is your playthrough. This is all uniquely your own. And now we're going to move back to the Grace where you heard the NPC talking to you. And as you can see, I realized I didn't grab the map, so we're going to grab that in a second right now. Yeah, all you want to do is get to the middle of this camp. There's going to be a whole bunch of NPCs. There's also a talisman, I believe, you can get from clearing that. And we're just going to run through. I suggest you just run through because this is going to be a very Attack on Titan moment going against the Beast Titan. This is not going to be a fun fight for you. So we're going to run up to our next Grace, pick up this golden seed. And bang, here's the Grace. And there is an NPC in the shack to my right that you can talk to, and I advise you that you do, because you get a summon that doesn't necessarily help. I've never used it in a fight. And coming up, you'll see that little beetle I run past. I also suggest if you find those, beat those things up because you do get items and skills from that. Ashes of War. So we're going to run up to the next Grace, and we are going to be fighting the first mandatory boss to get to the best soul farms in the game. And as you can see, there is a gold sign where you can summon Sorcerer Roiger. I do want to say he does make this easier, so if you're playing the game for the first time, I would use it, but be warned, it does increase the boss's health. And have fun fighting Margit. Once you've done beaten this guy, you may have lost a couple times, but worry not, you could always go back to that early game soul farm that I showed you and buff yourself up just a little bit more. But as you see, I'm not gonna lie to you, it took me a couple tries. It took like about 4 tries. I'm very rusty. I haven't played Elden Ring in months and months and months. So we're gonna collect this Grace, and then we're gonna start heading up to Stormvale Castle, where I'm gonna show you the quickest way to get through it, but there is an easier and safer option to do this. So we're just gonna run up. Don't mind Margit, he's gonna talk his shit. You'll never have to worry about him again. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna run to the... Oh, I'm gonna sleep at this Grace, I guess. Yeah, makes sense. I don't have health. So we're gonna take this Grace. We're gonna go run to the left, and then you're gonna see an NPC. His name is Gastock. You're gonna talk to him. He's gonna tell you can go through the side and enter the castle quietly, or you can go through the main gate and the guards will shoot you. We're gonna go through the main gate, because I don't have time to go through the side. But obviously you do what you wish. It is easier to go through the side. It's a lot safer, and you'll see what I mean. So you just want to hug this wall here, and I would say just run, don't dodge. Dodging can help, but sometimes you will get caught by those arrows more often than not while you're dodging. So just run, hug that wall and run. And what you want to keep doing is run. Run in the direction that I'm going, and be wary of that beast right there. He is, I want to say annoying to fight sometimes, unless you know his attack strings. But none of the NPCs will follow you to where this Grace is. So you'll grab this Grace, rest at it so you can reset the NPC so they're not all waiting at the door for you. And we're just going to continue to run. So we're going to make like a bandit and run past these guys. Do not fight them. They will jump you, and they do hurt a lot. And here is where I will tell you to be careful, because you will get shot. You see, I narrowly dodge those, and they do explode. And you do not want to hang right here at this front. You see this guy? That is a torch. A flamethrower. There we go. A flamethrower that will burn you and knock you down. And then you'll get smacked by all those other guys. So run through, roll into these... I don't even know what they are, barricades, and run past the Omen and his dog. I got hit, but luckily, if you're quick enough, you can make it to the Grace without worrying about these guys. So you'll make it to the Grace. Make sure you hit it, because if the enemies get too close, it will disappear. Like, it won't let me rest at it right now. But if you're quick enough, you can just get it, rest, and then make your way through it without having any of these enemies aggro to you. And as you can see, he came from downtown. I've never seen that move. I was so shocked when this happened to me when I was recording. Watching it over again is so crazy, because that was the most insane thing. He socked me. I was trying to run to the next Grace, but as you see, I got socked. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head to the next Grace, where we're going to get to the next main boss of the game, Godric. And what I will say here is just run. Don't ever fight these birds. Lord have mercy on your soul. Run. And to your right, there should be like a little entranceway where you can meet another NPC that you can use as a summon for this fight. But I would say just get that afterwards. You don't want the birds following you if you can't deal with them. So let's just run. And that's the fog door where the boss is going to be. As you can see, these birds are persistent. You're going to take a right. You're going to get the Grace, and you're going to rest at it. Most of the time, enemies don't really follow you in here, but, you know, I've had amazing luck so far during this recording, so I had an enemy that followed me in there. And then rest at the grace, reset all the enemies, level up if you can. And now we're going to fight the next mandatory boss for this guide. There's going to be a cutscene. I'm not going to watch it. And as you see, I'm coming back with 2 swords instead of 1. I did a little bit of soul farming because I was getting whooped, and I didn't want this video to take any longer than it should have to record. I'm showing you what I got. I got the Negakiba. For any Elden Ring veterans, you know how I got this sword. I committed a cardinal sin. Once you have Godric defeated, you know, he's going to talk to you. He's going to be a very, very fun fight. I want to say he's really fun for an early game boss. But you will lose. You will have to learn where to dodge and when you can't dodge. And yeah, it'll overall be a very much run into the wall till you break it experience. That's how every Souls game is going to be for you. If you can't get with that, then this is probably not the game for you. But once you've defeated him, no matter how long it took, I think it took me around 6 to 8 tries. I was rusty. I haven't played Elden Ring in a while. The last thing I can equivalent to playing a Souls game is Lies of P, which I've been playing on stream. So now what you want to do is open these doors. Once the doors are open, you want to hang a left and go down the stairs. Once down the stairs, you want to take a right, run down some more stairs, and then take another left. And then once you take that left, there will be a doorway in front of you. There will also be an item behind you that you can collect. I did not collect, but you can collect it. And then once you make it out this little stairs, you are in Liurnia of the Lakes, where you will get your next grace. And we are a lot closer to getting to the end of this guide, where we make it to the last soul farm of the video. Get the grace, and now we're going to continue onward to do an NPC questline that gets you to the best soul farms in the game. So we did pass a church where an NPC will be in. I would suggest going in there to get your sacred tear. I believe there is one in there, and talk to the NPC. Now we're going to run up to a grace, and right after we get the grace, we are going to make a pin on our map to get the next map piece we need to make traversing this area a lot easier. Get the map piece, run away from those enemies, because they can be annoying. But depending on where you are at the game, like how high of a level you are, do what you want, right? But for this guide, I'm going to ignore most of the enemies I encounter. So we're going to get up to this grace, and I believe I'm going to reset the enemies. And then in a second, we're going to run up to a teleporter that'll take us to where I believe makes it easiest to get the next map piece, and also sets you up to get to the next main story boss of the game. So we're going to run through, ignore these enemies. These are the worst enemies in the game, along with a few other enemies. We're going to take the teleporter, and it's going to teleport us to another spot of grace. So get on Torrent, run up to the spot of grace, activate it, and we are going to make way to the next map piece, because it allows us to see where I'm going to put the markers and where specifically we need to go to make this process a lot easier. Alright, once you've activated the spot of grace, pick up your map piece, and look at where I'm putting my pins on the map, because this is where you're going to be needing to go for the next good portion up until we get to the farm spot. So the closest pin is where we're going to be going first. That's where our closest spot of grace is, or it's the one that I always use. I believe there is one just a little bit closer, but just for time's sake, I'm only going to go to this one. So I'm going to remove my pin so I don't get confused, and we're going to run to the boiled prawn shop. And be wary, you see me move away from those lobsters, I swear on everything I love you want to stay away from those lobsters. So we're making it up to the Grace, Boil Prawn Shack, like I said. I didn't stutter at all when I first said it the first time. And then once you get this Grace, you're going to make way to the next spot where you're going to meet an NPC called Vare. Which, if you talk to him at the first step, you will have already been acquainted with him. And he would have told you were bitchless. So there's going to be a lot of payback coming around if you continue to do his quest line. But for right now, we're only doing the beginning steps of it to get to the soul farm. And as you can see, I run up and, wow, he's not here. I wonder why that is. So what you want to do is you want to go to the round table halt, go into this room, exhaust the lady's dialogue, and once you're done with that, you're going to make your way back to the Rose Church, I believe it's called, where Vare will be.
But the great soul pray, seek to become little.
Now that you're making him back, he should be there. I would talk to him. He's going to ask you how it was talking to the old lady. You're going to say they didn't seem quite right. And then he's going to give you an item which allows you to invade other players' worlds. And you're going to see me equip another item after the fact. That will have been after my first invasion went wrong. You're going to want to equip the Finger Severer, which the only thing that does is that it removes you from another player's world, which is really good because invading other people's worlds, you will be met with griefers and have to do PvP, and you may die. Most of the time you will, because it'll just be people spamming overpowered moves or AoE attacks. So I would just use the Finger Severer to enter the world and then leave. As you can see, we're entering. This guy, he's gearing up to fight us, and we just leave. And it still counts, and you have to do this for 3 times. 3 invasions until this part of the quest line is done. Once you do the 3 invasions, you will talk to Vare again. Once all 3 invasions are done, we're going to remove the items from our tool belt, and we're going to talk to Vare, and he's going to give us another item. It is a cloth that we have to soak in the blood of a maiden. And what we're going to do, we're going to run to where we're going to get our sweet, sweet revenge. I hope you did not forget the guy that folded you in the beginning of the game, the very beginning. After you created your character and everything, we're going to go get our run back and get the blood of our maiden to soak the cloth. So we are going to take this Grace, and then we're going to take a right up the path. You're going to see where I'm looking. Just follow where I'm going and ignore all the enemies as I'm doing. So you just want to keep on running ahead. At the top there will be a site of grace and a chest we will grab to get an item that will unlock the portal to the beginning spot of the game where you got folded by that guy with many arms. Grab the key and run to the tower that I'm going to be going to. It's going to be called the Chapel of Precipitation or whatever. I'm not good with names and I'm dyslexic, so don't hate on me. I always read the message at this to make sure I'm going... Oh, Chapel of Anticipation, of course. I always make sure I go to the messages to make sure I'm going to the right place because I get nervous. So take the teleporter and it'll take you back to the sweet spot of great revenge. Ugh. I bet you have something to prove now. I bet you're a very much higher level and know how to play the game a lot better, so I hope you whoop him. Because I definitely did on my first try. On my first run back, of course I beat him. There's no way I'd lose. I lost. But then I got my second run back, you know. You know how it do. You win some, you lose some. So after you beat the Grafted Scion, you're going to get a couple items from him. They're pretty cool. The Ornamental Straight Sword is a dual weapon that you can equip. If you equip on your right hand to both hands, it gives you like a dual attacking weapon. It's pretty cool. So you're just going to run ahead and you're going to go back to your maiden and you're going to soak the cloth in her blood. Once that's done, just go back to the Boil Prawn Shack and then make your way back to Vare. Once back to Vare, exhaust his dialogue and make sure you go through each piece of his dialogue. Talk to him many times, and then he's going to cut a finger off and give you an item. It's all nice and all.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth or something. Never forget.
And then once he's done cutting off one of your phalanges, talk to him one more time and he's going to give you an item which is going to teleport us to the final soul farm, where it's going to be our mid-game to basically end-game soul farm. So you're going to teleport there. Once there, run the way I'm going. Make sure you pick up this item. This is the map that will show you where to go in this place. We're going to go run up to the Grace because this is just a few spots of Grace away to being able to fight the boss of this area, which we're not going to go that way. So from that Grace, take a hard left, jump off the edge, get stuck in a tree, as I did. This is the first time that's ever happened to me, so I thought it was funny. Get on Torrent and hug this wall. Do not steer away from it. Just hug it because there is a giant spirit skeleton that will rail you. He is very vicious and he has a very long attack that will hit you if you are not fast enough. As you'll see, I'm going to run and then I'm going to turn around and you're going to see how far it reaches. It is absurd. Look at how far that reaches. That is crazy. So we're going to keep running through all this blood. Ignore all these enemies for right now. They mean nothing to you. So we're going to run and we are basically towards the end of where we need to be. This is everything you needed to do, step by step, as quickly as you can do it as a beginner. Obviously, with how many times I've played the game, it's a lot easier for me than it probably will be for you, or it might be even easier for you than it was for me. So rest at the site of Grace so those enemies that you ran past don't run up and hit you. And if you started with a samurai build like I have, you will have this bow, but you could also buy it at the Round Table Halt from the Twin Husk Maidens, I believe they're called. So all you want to do is perch up on this ledge. There'll usually be a message there, and shoot the bird. Once the bird falls off the ledge, you will get cash deposited to your account. A nice little chunk of runes. You can wash, rinse, repeat. You can also go back to the church with the merchant Kale, where you can buy a whole bunch of arrows, buy a whole bunch of arrows, so that way you never have to run out. And then once you do that, we are going to move into the end game soul farm. All of this was done under 2 hours on this character. Brand new character, under 2 hours. So I switched to a character where I already have beaten the game. So the way you can get to this final soul farm is by beating the last boss and trading in his soul for this sword. The sword is called the Sacred Relic Sword, and its Ash of War, or its skill, has an AoE attack that will attack all these enemies on this pathway, and all these enemies will give you souls, and all those souls will give you levels. Let this be known, I am in New Game Plus, so I am getting double the runes that you will be getting. So I would say you could do this in New Game Plus, just repeat this process in New Game Plus. But as you see, I'm just using the skill and getting all the money. And then there is also an item called the Gold Scarab, which gives you extra runes. I believe it's only 30%. I may be wrong, but with that, it'll give you extra runes per enemy defeated, and it's really good for this soul grind. It makes it a little bit easier. So that's the end of the guide. I hope you like it. Let me know what you did and didn't like. I'm gonna be doing more Elden Ring content. I'm gonna do some challenge videos soon, and I'll catch you guys then when the video announcing that drops. Bye. Love you. My goal is 1,000 subs. I know I already sent you guys packing, but here at the end, I'm gonna show you where you can get arrows and where to get the bows. I realized I didn't show you guys where to get it, just in case you really don't know. But here you go. This is just, don't mind the character build. Definitely not planning a Zoro character build, but yeah, I just run through, go to Kale, you get the arrows there, and then at the round table hold, you can get the bow if you don't have it. All right, now for real, peace, love you, bye. My goal is 1,000 subs, please. 1,000 subs.